All right, all right. Yo, I can't believe it. Hold on, let me turn this fan down right now. We got too much going on in here. Yo, it is a hot day, so please excuse the air conditioner, but I am trying to live. I promise you, I'm trying to live all of my life, and I'm not trying to boil any heat. Just in. I'm not sitting here minding my business, trying to avoid this heat wave here, and it came in. It was 6 minutes ago. That's when I clipped it. When I saw it 6 minutes ago, probably about now 16 minutes ago, Joe Biden tweets from his official X/Twitter account. My fellow Democrats, I have decided not. Hold on. My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best. That's right. And he goes on to say, it has been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. And then he has a picture. I'll go to the monitors. And this is him and Kamala, and she is talking. So this is things that we have already predicted in previous shows of Talking Shit Get Clicks, whether it's the Me episodes or if it's the We episodes. That's what we do. Thursday night live, 7:30 p.m. Call in so we can talk more about this. But right now, what's going on as we speak? Air conditioning on, cool is on, and heat is coming from all major news outlets that Joe Biden has decided to take an MFing seat this go round and to throw it to Kamala. And we're going to have questions. Is this too late? Should this have been going on? Because honestly, and this is since the beginning of my show when I started doing these shows a couple years ago, anytime we talk about the Biden administration, I always talk about the fact that Biden did not want to run for president after the Hillary debacle. He didn't want to run. He did not want to run. They ran Hillary, and Joe Biden had nothing to do with it. Last go around, they were like, we need Biden. We need somebody that can beat him. We know somebody that's been established in a winning administration. Let's throw Joe Biden out there. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people voted for Joe Biden. It was a very, very close election, extremely close election. It was split very much down the middle of the road between liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, pro-Biden, pro-Trump turnout during that election, like the highest turnout we've ever had of all effing time. And to be honest, the fact that they had to draw Joe Biden back in to run in 2020 against Donald Trump, the fact that they had to pull him out of retirement, it reminded me of, remember when Brett Favre got late into his career, and every year you were wondering if he was going to go back to Green Bay, and he was always holding out and going through camp and then coming in back at the last minute. That's what Joe Biden did. And that might have worked for the Green Bay Packers, but that does not work for America. So my whole thing the whole time was like, all right, Joe Biden he's going to win a presidency this time. You know, it was 4 years of Trump 2020 in the comments section, and you know, they kind of got lulled to sleep. I think a lot of Trump people got lulled to sleep, even though it was a tremendous turnout. But the people who are going to vote Joe Biden did it with an agenda like, hey, we're not going to be tricked up doing the Hillary thing anymore, and we're not going to just punk out on this. We got to go all in against Donald Trump, and this is just what they're saying. Hey, I'm just reporting this. So even myself, like, it wasn't a vote for Joe Biden in the first place. It was more of a vote for Donald Trump. And I've said this in posts and you know, previous podcasts and shows and everything like that. So, I mean, I think it is a good choice to take Joe Biden out now. I think everybody has lost a lot of faith in him, especially with the debate. I think the Democratic Party panicked. They panicked, and I think there was a reason for them to panic. I honestly get the feeling when I hear Joe Biden talk now, and he's so soft and raspy. It reminds, and this is compared to Joe Biden that they show in TikTok and Instagram clips from the late 1970s and 80s. He's been at this government thing for a while, and I think that should be applauded. Let the children sing for Joe Biden. Give him some applause. Throw the horns. But yeah, it's time to sit down. And really, I thought that as soon as he was elected in 2020, the smart move would be to put Kamala out a little bit more front and center and prepare her and prepare the American people for her eventual takeover of the Biden administration and pushing into the Biden-Harris administration. And I thought that she was the pick because she was going to be the next nominee. So with that, we see that Joe Biden has said that he would like his successor to be Kamala Harris, and we're going to have to see how the DNC responds. We're going to see how the people respond. But I am telling you, and I've been saying this, I don't think a lot of people know Kamala Harris. I think it's just what, the media has been saying and social media has been saying. And I think that probably a very like a tremendously bad way to get to know somebody through, that second-hand information. But I think there is going to be a huge shift in the Democratic Party to throw Kamala Harris out front if she is indeed going to be the nominee. Even though we know that there is talk that they want to have open nominations, and the media and the press and political historians harken back to the 1968 Chicago conference where it went crazy. Right? LBJ decided that he was going to get out. He stepped out. And then the 1968 Democratic National Conference that was held in an international amphitheater in Chicago, Illinois, it was out of control. It was out of control. Like, there is actually, over 2,000 people are arrested, and they said that 9 to 11 people died as a result of a DNC convention. A DNC convention back in 1968 caused the death of 9 to 11 people, and over 2,000 people were arrested. You would have to imagine if it got out of hand this year and then this time in 2024, the damage and the cost to having an open DNC convention. Saying that, I am not totally against that. I understand that Joe Biden may want Kamala Harris to be the successor, but as the entire DNC comes to an agreement or a disagreement about that, we'll have to see if she will absolutely positively be the nominee and the go-to pick, if they're going to push her out there more, if the donor money is going to get turned back on in the direction of Kamala Harris and her continuing the Joe Biden administration. We're going to see. So what was I doing today? Oh, more horns, more horns. All right, so what was I doing today? I was sitting here in the stew, in the hut, and I was just going over Trump's 90-minute RNC convention nomination, acceptance speech, and his whole rollout for his next 4 years in office should he be elected. And I think that we should all remember that when you're listening to this speech, really, and usually, don't hold me 100% to this, but in most cases, that speech that the nominee gives, whether Democratic or Republican, the speech that they give at that Democratic National Convention or that Republican National Convention, the one that's being held in Milwaukee right now, the one where they absolutely, I don't even want to go. I don't want to go and say how they said the increases of, I think, Grindr. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle. I just point out the hypocrisy of a convention that looks down on those type of lifestyles, and yet it just so happens to be, even though we know that correlation and coincidence or whatever the hell that saying is, isn't. But it is a hell of a coincidence that Grindr is peaking over there in the Milwaukee area during this RNC convention. Just saying. All right. But I say like this. Yeah, if they're going to have Kamala out front, then that just might be the move. Like I said, I think she should have been. Like usually, and this kind of bothers me when we're having this national political discussion, especially when it comes to the Democratic National Committee. That listen, normally historically, the vice president is just the vice president. They're on standby. They go to events that the president is like, that's not an A-list event that I should be. That's an A1 event or a B side event. You go do that there. Like, that's an important person, but not really important to get the audience of the president. Vice president will suffice, and she or he, the vice president, is a mouthpiece for that president, basically. And they're usually play the background. They usually have like an itinerary and an agenda of their own, but it's not as huge as the president's, and always they have to be the number one cheerleader for the president. So that's usually what a vice president does. You don't really see him that much. Hey, they took a trip to Ecuador. I didn't even know they were gone, blah, 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 stuff like that. And this last 4 years and in this administration, there's been a lot of questioning of what Kamala Harris does. And I think that is, for people who are newcomers, that you should know that, hey, the reason why you don't know what she does is because traditionally no one really knows what the vice president does. But secondly, it seemed to me like that talk is coming as kind of like a diss towards Kamala. Like, she shouldn't be in a job. She doesn't know what she's doing. And once again, I have to reiterate that traditionally, and even in this administration, you can see that Kamala Harris played the traditional role as vice president, basically number one speaker for the president, presides over the Senate and everything like that, which she's done a fine job of that. And she's just, that cheerleader to echo the administration's message, and that's what she's been doing. And that's what usually most of all of them do. So, her not being out front, that's a normal thing for you guys out there. And for those who already know this information and are saying it, you guys are so disingenuous, and that is trash. Let's not do that. There's so many lies going around. Let's not lie more to the people. But I think Kamala Harris would be Kamala, however you want to say her name. I think I think it's going to be interesting because we have an Indian / Black American, Jamaican American, Caribbean American, like a Black American who identifies as Black. And I'm pretty sure she's there with her Indian roots as well. We've seen pictures and everything. But like on the outside, when you look at her, she just looks like a Black lady. All right, let's get that out the way. So it's looking like another Black presidential candidate of mixed race, Obama first. And she's going to be going up against Trump. And I think that debate-wise, hands down, she can push the message for the Democrats. She was pretty good at the debates in her own times running for president of the United States back in, 2012? She was running. 2012, she ran. So, during that process, she was, put out on a national stage. The things she used to do in the Senate as a senator for California, the way she used to hold people to task there. I think there's going to be a negative campaign coming out against Kamala Harris. Overall, I think there's going to be a positive campaign of talking about all the good things that she does is going to come out by the DNC. All I can say this is that the DNC bet not F up her campaign, because it is not a lot of time, and you know what I should do while I'm talking about Kamala? I should put up a picture of her. But they don't have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of time. So in not having a lot of time, there is no effery to be had. They need to get out and about with Kamala. You can't have any flubs. You can't have any you can't have any of those moments. You can't have any. You can't have any record scratches like, what did she just say? You can't have any.
Listen.
She can't be like that. She's got to be pristine. She has to run a clean 100% effort, 110% effort campaign if she's going to be the one. And that goes specifically for her. Specifically for her. That's what's going on. Somebody's calling me, but I'm live right now, so that's what's going on. But honestly, this is what is happening. We are definitely going to see. Like I said, Biden is out. They said that there is actual a letter. There was a letter that he wrote. Let's go back to his page. He wrote a letter. So 23 minutes ago, he said, if you're with us, donate to her campaign here. He's already out for Kamala. Let me throw on the screen here. I'm not gonna take you out there crazy. Push this over here. Make it look good. All right, so here it is. He wants us to donate to the campaign. There's people going out to Kamala. There's a picture getting out there. And people disagree. Horrible decision. You deserved far better. Thank you for all you've done for this country. And I guess that's coming from someone who wanted Joe Biden to stay in the picture. And listen, like ultimately, I thought I wanted Joe Biden to stay in the picture just for his winnability. But during the debate, not only did he have a terrible debate, but the way that the DNC reacted, panicked after that debate, like seconds after during the time he got off stage, they were talking, hey, let's remove him. And I think that caused a lot of controversy over the last couple of weeks. And this is where we are. It's almost been a month. Since the debate, and for the last month, we've been talking Joe Biden up into the alleged assassination attempt on President Trump last weekend in Butler, PA. So this is where we are. They're back at Kamala. They should have been doing this. They should have been throwing her out there and having her, more front and center, and would given her the reins to the administration and used this 4 years as, yes, Joe Biden is the president, but we are also upping the responsibilities of our vice president, because Joe didn't want to run in the first place. He did this for America, and now he just wants to make sure that Kamala is good to go before she can run. Now, I think it is a travesty that they did not do it that way. That is the way that I said they should have did this, and I'm talking about, this is the frustration that I've had with the DNC for the last 4 years. This entire administration, like, y'all don't ever put it. So they're asking, who will Kamala's VP candidate be? And I'm thinking Gavin Newsom. And I'm thinking because they worked together in California before and things like that. But here's Gunther Eagleman. You effed your supporters. Chud Report says, I would vote for a golden retriever over any Republican at this point. And this is all on Biden's comments here. And you can't do this. Your grandson, Hunter, is next in line of succession. So you can't just skip over him to a sitting governor. Call her a sellout. Thank you for your service, Mr. President. And best luck in your future endeavors. I think that's probably the best way to reply to this. Like, however you feel about Kamala Harris being the first, not the first nominee for the Democrats, first female nominee of the Democrats, but for her being, that's going to be out in front, that's what it is. So here we are. Of course, American AF. These are just general elections. Trump 52, Biden 47. I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to plug Kamala in there, and then you got to get her busy. I think one of her best things that she does is that she goes on and she can talk her shit. I think she can hold her own with Donald Trump in a televised debate. I think if Donald Trump goes to the usual insulting, and she's going to call him out, she's going to be on top of him, and I think that she can basically she's a better communication. Look at me talking about people being good at communicating when I can't even get it out of my mouth. But I just think that she is a a she is a master communicator. She's a way better communicator than Joe Biden, and she'll be good at communicating the Democratic message that needs to be communicated for this election campaign. I'm just excited to see like what's going to happen next, how the DNC is going to respond to this. Will she absolutely positively be the nominee now that Biden has thrown his weight over to her way? Because really, we haven't heard of any proper replacement. We've been talking about Donald Trump being replaced for the last month, and there's been names. Hillary Clinton's name was thrown out. Gavin Newsom's name was thrown out. Obviously, Kamala's name was thrown out, but I think it was kind of a deal where we just knew that, hey, if it's not him, he's going to throw it to his vice president. That's how it should be. I mean, I'm not. Let me take that back of how something should be. It should be, usually that's how it is, or that's what I would assume traditionally would happen, just to be fair. I'm not saying it is what it should be, but it just makes sense. So, like, this isn't a surprise. I knew with all of the pressure that was being put on from, all of the DNC congressmen, senators coming out, speaking out against it, the way that they responded when they had the meeting, and they were just unequivocally saying, I'm going with Joe. And when the reporters were, asking a question about, do you think this is a good choice? And they were just deadpanning and saying that, hey, this is my choice. Basically, doing the, what's my man's? I can't even think. I want to say Richard Sherman, but no, Beast Mode. When Beast Mode said, I'm here, he was like, I'm on here, so I don't get fined. And it was basically, they were saying that the DNC giving talking point that, hey, I'm with Joe until we find out. And this was just days ago. This is like Thursday night Friday. And this is coming from the Black Congressional Caucus. This is coming from congressmen and senators that have been at the meeting to discuss what we were going to do what the DNC would do with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden saying that he wanted to stay in the race. So now that all of this comes out, it isn't a surprise that Kamala Harris is the pick. Like I said in the very last show, it seemed to me with his voice that he sounded a little bit like Muhammad Ali later on in Muhammad Ali's life. Not even career. His career had been over, but in his life, you could see that he went from the brash, quick talker, silver tongue guy that he was to a hey, and Biden does not have that force of voice, and it seemed to me that he could have been suffering from Parkinson's. So when you see that a specialist had been coming to the White House multiple times under the guise, and I'm saying allegedly, to they said he was doing like some clinics there, at free clinics at the White House, but I mean, come on. Would it be too far-fetched to believe that a Parkinson expert or a neurologist would be coming to see Joe Biden? Come on. Joe Biden's falling all the time. He's falling off bikes. He's falling during military graduations. He's just falling. He's falling down things. And you get bumps on your head, and we want to make sure that man is good because he's done a lot for the country. He served for such a long time, and he deserves a break. I can't even believe that. It's even foolhardy to believe me that Joe Biden actually wanted to stay in the race. I don't know if it was some side was just telling him. I don't know if it's the DNC stalling. But honestly, something doesn't smell right in the DNC. Nothing ever smells right in the RNC, just to be said. Because we watched this convention, and if anybody watched it with any type of just free mind and not under the hypnotic effects of a red hat with white stitching, if anybody just watched it, observed it, and objectively watched what was going on for this past week in Milwaukee with the Republicans, oh my God, bro. It's like a country. There's nothing wrong with going to the state fair on a county fair, but it's like a county fair where you have to wear hard bottoms. You know what I mean? It's just like that. I expected right outside of the convention center, or people were walking around selling popcorn and glow sticks. while during the convention, and they were eating fried fucking Oreos and shit like that. It just seems like that to me. But like I said, DNC, they better have their convention better be the shit. Kamala Harris, if she's going to be one, whoever's going to be one, better be on message. They better come off as strong, competent, and capable. Just because, listen, Trump's people are already dialed in, but there are some people out there, but they need to hit those swing states. They need to hit the swing states, but they also need to hit the traditionally states that do turn blue, just to be like, hey, we know that this is going on. We didn't expect this to happen, but we got a plan, and this is what we're going to do. Because, I mean, right now for me, I'm Project 2025. So, this is what's going on. Screw the 14 million primary workers who cast their ballots for you. Am I right? Listen, honestly, I think Joe Biden's staying in when we know that Hillary Clinton was on pace to beat Donald Trump in 2016 until there were videos coming out of her having coughing attacks and fake seizures. And they were being ran by operatives from outside and inside the United States. These little falsehoods against Hillary Clinton. And that drove people away from going to the polls. So when you say that that Joe Biden dropping out is scoring 14 million primary voters, conventional and contemporary history actually disagrees with that sentiment, sir. So no, I don't think that Joe Biden dropping out is screwing the 14 million primary voters who cast their ballots. I think primaries are important, but I also think that the way that primaries are done is really not beneficial to the average American voter. I just think they're not. However, since we do have them, I think it's better for those primary voters who actually not just voting for Joe Biden as a man, but his administration, and would like to see his administration continue, or will feel better with somebody who can communicate the Democratic conference's message better than Joe Biden. And Kamala Harris can definitely do that. And I believe she can hold her own against Donald Trump. So yeah, end wokeness, and plus your name is end wokeness. We know what that is. Patriots win. Democracy is on the ballot. Vote Trump, sir. I mean,
first of all, don't argue.
Kamala Harris has the worst approval of any vice president in U.S. history. Paul A. Cispula. Oh, that's a great name, Cispula. So naturally, Joe Biden endorses her. I would say that Paul Cispula. I've never seen any approval ratings of a vice president. I'm not saying that you're lying. But I would also say that, damn it, on January 6th, Mike Pence had a very low approval rating. So that's that. I refuse to despair. Time to rally the troops. Biden, Harris, please stand by 2024. I think that's what it is. I think we are fighting for a small but very valuable piece of land in this election cycle, and it is just watching it and being part of it. It's historical. And it's historical in the fact that it's happened before and we still haven't learned from it, damn it. And that's all I got to say about that. I don't kid. But I'm going to throw that up for you. I'm going to let those children sing. Hey, guys, I'm sorry for the fan and the AC in the background, but hey, it was all about my health. I just hit you with a little quick mini pop out of Joe Biden actually being out and telling us today, mere moments ago, that he's decided that he's not going to accept the nomination because he wants to focus his energies on his duty as president for the remainder of the term. And I think he can do a lot because the Supreme Court just kind of made him a king in the last couple of weeks. So let's see how he uses his new king powers going forward. I kid, but I'm damn serious at the same time. So It looks like Kamala Harris once again is being pushed out. It's being pushed out front to continue the Biden administration. Take that as you willst. But remember, we're going to talk about this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. You got a call-in line, and it's 313-825-5557. You can leave a message there, and your message might pop up on Thursday. Please hit like, share, subscribe. I always forget to say that, and people always forget to do that because I forget to say that. But please also hit the alerts because I pop up like I just did right now. I just be popping up. And that's what we got. Damn, bro. Crazy. Oh, let's try this thing. I don't feel like I hit enough buttons. You know, I love hitting the buttons, and I don't think that I didn't hit enough. I didn't hit enough buttons, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I have decided not to assume. I've decided not, like, come on, buddy. He's out of there. He's out of there. He is out of there. That's why you guys keep hearing a flush. That's crazy. At least it wasn't looped. Sorry about that. I gotta turn that off. I can't hear it in my headphones. So, yeah, I just had to turn it off. That's what I did. So you can hear it now. No, I'm not gonna do that. Here's the show. I'm out.